we need to redefine what alpha male means, because even that definition is not really the people that succeed. The leaders that I look up to are not the leaders that are burdened with that attitude of I'm going to dominate a space.
Being vulnerable is not a weakness at all. It's a strength.
Failure is not a bad thing. It's just a learning curve for us.
There's a mistake I did in a company that costed the company around 4 million shillings.
Sometimes the challenges that we fear, that we face, and the fears propel us to become our better selves, right, and to do better. And that, maybe you could kick us off.
I think I can reflect myself back when I made a bold decision just to leave everything in Europe and come to Africa, start something completely new. I did not know where I'm going, what I will face. I just went, and it turned out very well. And I think the thing that helped me, it's like I did not come as a leader who knows everything. I think I expressed some kind of a little bit of vulnerability. Like, okay, I don't know the market, I don't know you guys, but please show me what are you doing and let's just do better. So I think being vulnerable is not a weakness at all. It's a strength.
It's interesting we're on this topic and how that ties to my personal leadership style. I think I'm a bit of an empath. It's almost like a world-known fact. Not to be confused with weakness. There's a thin dotted line there. How I approach leadership, and by the way, it's extremely profound what Gunas has said in terms of learning and unlearning and willing to. I joined the mobile industry 8 years ago, but preceding that, I was in software sales. Absolutely no relation to this mobile industry. And I moved into this role previous to this one, where I knew absolutely nothing. My willingness to learn then allowed me to unlearn everything I'd picked up and learn something new. And I approach my everyday leadership here at Watu from that angle, that nobody's an expert in everything. I genuinely feel that we need to literally wear different POVs so that we fully understand and to be more of an empath in your approach to leadership. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'll just add to that because I was speaking on the fear of failure. In terms of leadership, it is just okay to fail. What this gives you is an opportunity or a platform to learn and do better the next time.
For me, I'll divide it into the two ways, looking at vulnerability. My parroting moment of opening up actually helped me grow in my career at a first stage. So with my previous employer, I was given an acting role while they were looking to hire someone. So I did the role so well that in 1 year they forgot to hire someone. So during one of my parroting moments with the CEO, I'm complaining about life. And then she asked, Chris, are you married? And I was like, the amount of money that you're paying me cannot allow me to get married. And that moment triggered her to remember, like, what are we paying you? So we have never changed this. So for me, that talking to people actually helped me in that phase of growth. So it triggered something. And then the next bit is when I was moving now from e-commerce in Kenya, moving to Ethiopia to start an e-commerce business. During the interview, I became vulnerable. It's something that a lot of people will not advise you to do, but I think in my career it has helped me. During the interview, they asked me, like, what are you not good at? So if you look at most career coaches and everything, they'll tell you to say something that is vague just to cover it up. But for me, I was very clear. It's like, I've never done finance and marketing. So when I took over the role, they made sure that I'm not set up for failure because they gave me a supporting structure in finance and marketing. Mm-hmm. So it's something that we should not actually be afraid of. And then adding on to what Donna said about failure. I've been lucky to be in an environment whereby we celebrate failure. So I remember there's a mistake I did in a company that costed the company around 4 million shillings. I went to my boss very worried that I'm going to get fired. And then she asked me, like, Chris, do you know why I'm not a doctor? I'm like, no. And then she's like, if you're a doctor and you screw up, someone dies. But if you're in business and you screw up, you recover the money. So it's like, Chris, go and sit in that room and write for me a strategy to make my 4 million back. So with that, it gave me the hope, like I can literally do anything, try out new things without that fear of failure. So that environment also really helps. And those are the things that have helped me in my career growth.
I think that there are a lot of things that we are all similar in. I was just actually thinking about what you said about exercise and how that allows you to deal with any frustration, stress, and maintain a far healthier mindset. For me, I think it's seeking opportunities to learn. Part of that is also seeking opportunities to potentially fail. The reason that I've been a lifelong nomad is because at some point after things are familiar and I'm doing what I love and I do it well, I'm seeking out the opportunity to go elsewhere where I'll be taught new things and I can unlearn and have the same approach that you had. And I think that being a leader that accepts and brings that vulnerability to the people that we lead, that we don't know as much and that we're willing to be taught, I think can be a pretty powerful thing. With that, maybe as a last thing, what are your thoughts about the kind of future that we all want to build? I mean, you're all leaders in this company, and I think we have a lot of influence over the things that we can build within this company to allow us to have better, healthier men. What are your thoughts? What are the things what's the wish list that we can say right now and hopefully throw it out there to the universe and the universe can help us create?
On a day such as this, International Men's Day, I can dare say the future is female. I know, I mean, it literally is not in the name of the day, but I feel that we can all approach things and life in general from a more empath perspective, whether it's in you're managing your teams, whether you're making decisions and things like that. And that is something I feel women do best.
I see that. You did that on purpose, yeah?
So for me, I just say we just need to create the environment for people to be open, to be able to open up. And we've seen most men are not willing to do that. So you have to probe them and get triggers that will make it happen. A very good example, I think, is the event that we had on Father's Day. It was really interesting, and a lot of men really opened up. So just creating such opportunities for men to open up, that helps. And then also just as a leader, keep asking your people how are you doing? If you see someone is in a bad mood, if you see Proud is very smart, if there's an issue. So so you see it and ask Proud, how are you doing? Is everything okay? We just need to create that environment and also probe for people to speak up, and that will change that culture. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we really need to be very deliberate with the man issue. The men's mental issue needs to be focused on, especially here in this organization, whereby we need to create open spaces whereby we will not be biased, will not be judgmental if somebody reaches out, and we really need to handhold our direct reportees together with our line managers so that we can actually work through this together. That's my feeling.
I think we are kind of on the right path, talking about the mental well-being for men in Watu. But yeah, there are things, of course, we can do better. It's mentorship, it's shadowing that we are doing for employees of the month, but maybe we can do better, breaking the barriers between the officers and the leaders, because I also feel, and there is a barrier, and the officers they fear to approach managers, HODs. There's some things we cannot tolerate in our company organization. It's toxic masculinity that must be, and I think that some leaders come with this toxic masculinity. That is something we need to not to tolerate, and there is many shapes of manhood.
We need to redefine what alpha male means, because even that definition is not really the people that succeed. The leaders that I look up to are not the leaders that are burdened with, because it's a burden, that are burdened with that attitude of I'm going to dominate a space. It's the people that are kind and gentle and they're open with their feelings. And I think that in the short term, the aggressive attitude might win, but in the long term, the people that become the people that we can look up to are people that I think are the kind of men that I think we've been trying to strive for, I guess, in identifying our fears and thinking about the ways that we seek support. And that's what I hope for. I hope that in this organization, we continue to lift the leaders that are the kinds of people that create an environment where manliness is not a curse word. It's not something that makes other people uncomfortable, but it's something that gives comfort and opportunities for mentorship, growth, advice, and so on. So I hope that we can invest in that a lot more.
I'd just like to add, like, I think Don mentioned it, but it should cut across. Like, it's lonely at the top. So for example, as you're looking at mental health of your people, are you looking at yours, and are you also looking at your line manager? So the feedback needs to go up and down. We need to check on. Don't you need to check on me if I'm doing okay? Just not to check on you. Yeah.
Just say, are you okay?
It will mean a lot when there.
Yeah.